Alrighty. Good morning. It's not morning, it's afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming and joining me to hang out for a second today. I don't really have much of a plan. Nope, I don't have much of a plan going on, but I do plan on hanging out for a minute here. I have a couple things on my mind, though, that I was thinking we could talk about. See if I can find this post. In case there's any questions, you can put anything that comes up in the comments section. But I got some cool things to share with you guys. Like I got a pedal hooked up, the brand new lolohi octave pedal from Lone Wolf. I might go through a little bit of that and just demo that in a second. What else? Oh, I know what I can do real quick. Give me one moment to share this. But I want to give away a harmonica today. That's something I mentioned I would do on the community page. Give away a free Hohner Rocket to somebody signed up for this event coming with Adam Gusso, Hank Shreve, and Carlos Del Junco. That's the big online Global Blues Harmonica Summit. So I'll draw that winner in just a moment. But I thought it'd be cool to talk about the sponsors because they've donated some killer items that even if you're not going to attend the event, you might find this interesting. Lone Wolf has donated this pedal that I'll share with you guys today. I'm going to demo it. It is a cool octave pedal. It's definitely got that organ vibe to it. And if you haven't heard it or checked it out, I'm going to give you guys a little sample of it. Just a little bit, just so you can hear. And they're donating one of those to give away, which is going to be awesome because I'm going to throw that into the mix as a door prize for the event coming up April 17th and 18th. So let's just talk about this pedal. I've got the delay also from Lone Wolf, the delay pedal hooked up. So it's got the delay and the brand new lolohi pedal hooked up. So let's just take a second. Kind of a unique sound that you would probably pick and choose your moments where you want to create a vibe, you know, more so than the runs that I'm playing here. It would be, I would use this kind of octave pedal for something like, you know, like think of like a funk groove that where it might just fit really well, or just something that has that vibe where you'd want to hear like that organ sound on it. Man, I'm having a real hard time finding. I'm trying to multitask and I'm doing a terrible job at it. All right, screw it. I'm not going to do this. Bummer. I really wanted to do that today. All right, so this pedal's going to be given away. Let me give you another little sample. I've got it set. The lolohi pedal is set kind of like the lower and middle octave settings are straight up, almost. The volume's about 75% up on the pedal, and then the dry is just straight up. One thing I really like about this pedal that's very effective is the double stops. I mean, that you get a really cool, dark, eerie sound going from this, which I'm really digging. But you can also riff on this. There's no reason you can't take this and just totally riff off of it, you know, and you can bring in your things like octaves, you know. Oh, no wonder the cord was loosening on me on my mic. Now this is just one of the settings that I'm demoing. This is the low-high setting. You can also put it into super low mode. Low, low, low. I've got an A harp. obviously you can tweak the settings within those toggle switch. Maybe I'll take it and show you. All right. So like, this is where I have it set right now. You can see that you could really dial in these to, so you can really dial in each octave, the higher and lower octave, to the point where you can really just get exactly the tone you're looking for. It works really well in that regard. Somebody's going to win one of these. I think they're going to be back in stock at Lone Wolf like in mid-April or something like this. And then the element I'm playing is the Bulletini element. I get to give away a Bulletini microphone as well. But today I want to choose a winner. These winners I'm drawing from people signed up for the summit. But here's the cool thing. You might be thinking, well, why are you doing this, Ronnie? You're giving away something. These people that are signed up, I'm joining to hang out with you, and I don't get a chance to win anything. I will do something where it's just like anybody's entered and I'll give something away. But also, if you know you're going to sign up for the summit, I'll come back and do it again in like 2 or 3 days. I'll give away another harmonica. So if you were planning on signing up and you want to be entered into these drawings, now's the time I'm going to get aggressive giving away items from my sponsors. That's what I'm going to do. That means Hohner is donating Hohner rockets and a case, a couple different harmonica cases that I'll be giving away. I already mentioned that I'm giving away this pedal and the Bulletini element, a Stage 5 boost pedal. There's a lot of great stuff I get to give away. Oh yeah, I don't have it hooked up anymore. So that was the low-high pedal. What's up, everybody? Let me see who's in here. How can I build my new licks on my own? How to improve rhythmic improvisation. First, take off this sweatshirt and reveal the answer. The answer is Jerry Hunt. No, the answer is, that really is Jerry Hunt, though. How can you build new licks on your own and how to improve rhythmic improvisation? Well, building licks is like just acquiring more vocabulary. You know, like just work on muscle memory and vocabulary building. And eventually they'll start to come out naturally on your own. At least they did for me. And rhythmic improvisation, I mean, that's open for interpretation what you exactly mean by that. But smaller ideas are usually good for this, like simple little motifs or themes that you can build where you're like... And build in like little exercises that require less movement, less notes, but that allows you to really syncopate and work on your timing and rhythm playing. You got to listen to a million examples to get to the point. Hey, look at who's in here, Nate Vance. What's up, buddy? Everybody go subscribe to his channel. He's got, if you want to learn more about how to take care of your lawn and garden, he's got a killer channel to check out. I know I've been watching your channel, man. But yeah, like rhythmic improvisation is really, honestly, I mean, there's a million ways to do this, but practice changing up your time and, you know, work on quarter note, eighth note, 16th note embellishments within, you know, one note. If I were to just stick with 2 draw, I mean, that's a good example. So my advice to you is to just pick a small area of the harp and, you know, work it out, so to speak. Like, here's something kind of funky. I don't know what this is, actually. Five draw, 5 blow, 4 draw. How many ways can you say it? And then maybe working in like layers of texture so that your change up is not just rhythmic, it's adding things like octaves and tongue slaps and hand, you know, effects and things, because that's where you can start to really pay attention to how you're rhythmically interacting with your music. I feel like a lot of the times people get caught up in so hardcore and concentrating on what are the notes I'm playing that they forget to do some of that. Let's see. Hey, Joe, welcome. And everyone who's tuning in. I don't know the Monsters theme, sorry. Give us some advanced lessons. Yeah. So, like, it's a great topic. I do know what this track is. It was in a lesson that somebody was sharing with me. I just finished doing this lesson, and he had a Quist track. You probably know Quist from YouTube. He puts out these great backing tracks, and it's a B minor blues shuffle. So I was in third position on an A, just riffing on that. But yeah, that's how I work on that kind of thing, is simplify the idea of then you can pour all your time into it's a great topic, especially when you said rhythmic improvisation, because it really has a different meaning compared to somebody just putting this on and playing more melodic. So you can mix up. One thing that came up in my lessons today a bunch was mixing up, an angle. Taking one angle is what I was trying to say. Like, you're working on improvisation, so it's a huge topic. You put on your jam tracks every day, and you're like, I'm just going to go to battle with these tracks and play as hard as I can and work out some new ideas. But the reality is, if you didn't have an angle in your mind ahead of time, it's still productive and fun, but it only goes so far. So what I like to do is say, warm up with something, whatever you want, but then choose one little angle, like rhythmic improvisation, and like maybe like corner a part of the harmonica, like the middle register. And then once you've done that a while and you're getting somewhere, go for another angle. Angles can be things like technique, concepts, concept being more like rhythmic improvisation versus like incorporating tongue blocking or slaps or incorporating vibratos. So the pedal, what's the cost? I don't know. That's a really good question. You can check it out. It is up there on his site at lonewolfblues.com. Head over there and check it out, Bobby. I'm not sure what that thing costs, but it's really cool. I'm having fun experimenting with it. Yeah. Yes. The angle is a great way. When you record yourself with one angle in mind and only do one at a time, you can really pour your attention into that. And then later you can conjoin ideas of sort of, I'm going to do this angle and that angle and bring them together. But at first, that's tough. So if you're looking for an advanced tip, so who was that? Nate, you said that? An advanced tip is strategize with 3 angles at once and constantly mix them. So if I say to you, microtonal bending, vibrato, and hand technique. That might be an example of like a tiny little space of the harmonica, and I was able to work on all 3 at once. It at least frees you up to stop thinking and worrying about what notes to play. That's the biggest trap. Like in the world of improvisation, people are so hyper-focused. What do I go next? What do I say? And I always say, well, you're already playing something, so just work on rephrasing and saying that in a way that means something a little more to you. I don't know how to do that, Eric. A polyrhythm against 4. I don't know my terms well enough, my theory deep enough, so I don't know what that means. Maybe I do it. Maybe I do it and I don't know, Let's see. I found a polyrhythm generator. Simultaneous use of 2 or more rhythms that are not readily perceived as deriving from one another. Okay. That's what a polyrhythm is. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't know if I've done that naturally, sort of in some way, and don't know how, but I'm not sure. That's a good one. Yeah, that's interesting. Great. I'm glad to hear that one of my videos helped you draw a bend. And welcome from India, all the way from India, checking in. So, what else have I been working on lately? Just to share a couple things with you. Well, in getting ready for the summit, this I haven't talked a bunch about it, but I'm teaching my song La Rumba de la Casa Roja. It's an instrumental. It's just this little Latin flavored thing, and I'm going to break this down. It's really B flat. You got a B flat harmonic. So I'm going to break this down, and one thing I'm noticing, I haven't even broken it down yet myself, but one thing I'm going to do is I've noticed that in the song, there's a theme being developed right out of the gates. And if you listen to the music, the tune, you'll hear that I'm using like a very specific line that I kind of rephrase and come back to. Yeah, I know what syncopation is. Sounds like syncopation. That's a very broad term because syncopation is really the push and pull and the experimentation of that rhythmic change up. But it sounds very open for interpretation as far as how to work on syncopation. You can even syncopate your melody so that you're adjusting the melody line ever so slightly. For example, like if somebody might play, and then the next guy playing Georgia plays it like, adds a couple extra notes, and that in and of itself is enough of a change up melodically sometimes to make it interesting. It doesn't always have to be some crazy, like syncopation within your improvisation. Do I have any downloadable songs? Downloadable songs? Like, what do you mean songs? Like of my own? Yeah. I've released a bunch of music over at Bandcamp. Ronnie Shellist Band. Just type in Bandcamp. I have those. Do I mix minor and major pentatonic? Yeah, all the time. I'm mixing the blues scale minors, blues scale and minor pentatonic, and then major pentatonic and blues scale and cross harp. I don't often take something like a third position minor pentatonic and mix it with major pentatonic unless I'm approaching something like a 5-chord in second. Like if you're playing in second position, you guys realize it's probably an over-discussed topic, but for some of you it'll be a light bulb moment that when you're playing in second position, the 5-chord lends itself to third position. So you're essentially playing your harmonica in third position for that moment of the 5-chord. So then I am engaging in like mixing in minor pentatonic, where you just remove the blue note, and then I'll play lines like that in cross harp. So I guess I am sometimes mixing them. You can do it, but there's not a whole big section like in second position where it's conducive to playing all the that third position minor pentatonic phrasing. So, but your blues scale and your pentatonic major should be mixed up all the time. Those two, if you guys aren't mixing that in your cross harp playing in second position, look these scales up, major pentatonic and blues scale, and just start mixing them. Because they go together. I mean, they absolutely will work mixed. Hey, thanks, Nate. I don't often get a tip on my channel, so thanks, buddy. Next time I see you. That's funny. You wrote buy yourself coffee. Maybe I subconsciously saw that. Last time, I was going to say, next time I see you, I'll buy you a cup of coffee. Bring it back around to you, buddy. Paraguay, welcome in the house. Joe McLaren. Oh, I love Joe. Little Joe. Yeah, he's such a great player. If you guys don't know Little Joe, Joe McLaren. Joe McLaren's a killer acoustic blues guy. The real deal, sings and plays great. Check him out. Yeah, Bandcamp's where I have all my music. There's a great CD called Hangover Blues. That's where this one comes from, this Rumba de la Casa Roja. And then there's Till Then, which is a self-release CD. and some older stuff and some duo related stuff with Moses Walker. And so there's a couple things to check out. What else is on my brain? So I started to say in the summit, I'm going to talk about how this came about, how this song happened, as far as there wasn't any preparation. I'll put it out there now. I'll just share it with you in case you're planning on attending. Anybody here watching planning on attending the Global Blues Harmonica Summit? That's April 17th and 18th. Online event. Adam Gusso's going to be there, Hank Shreve, and Carlos Del Junco. For this song, though, I'm all over the map today, but for this song, we literally, the reason the CD's called Hangover Blues is we went out drinking till 4 a.m. And then we woke up early, and Jerry has a home studio, and we set up the 2-track tape, and we just started recording with 2 microphones in a room, and that was the CD. So it's all completely improvisation, but created on the spot. And now that I've heard it enough, when we ever perform it, which is rarely, these lines sort of live in my head, especially the intro. So I think there's some cool big picture learning besides just learning how to play it and hearing me talk about it. It's what did I notice after the fact, like I was talking about themes and motifs, when you can use things like similar note choices but adjust the phrasing, or bringing in rhythmic similarities into your playing and improvisation. That's also working with motifs. Motif's just a smaller statement or section as far as I understand, and a theme is sort of an ongoing thing you might revisit and come back to within your improvisation. And loosely, that's what I mean, is that to create a theme, we've talked about this on this channel before, but you might just play a riff and then leave it and come back to it and just, again, sort of play it in a slightly different way. But if you listen to this, I'll just share the one riff with you from this. That right there, and part of that. Another rephrase, different last note. Now we're complete. Just move off to something different. And so this is high-level strategy and improvisation, is like being like just aware enough of what you're doing to play with that idea. You know what I mean? Still had no idea what was going to come out or how it would come out, but it felt right to go back to a certain area. I'm just paraphrasing. And so what happens is, as you're moving along, it's actually a very smart way to play, because it keeps you very focused, sometimes chord by chord, but also like 12-bar chunk by 12-bar chunk if you're playing 12-bar blues. It sort of keeps you focused on what you're really saying. So when you end an idea, you start to move somewhere different, your whole goal, at least my goal, is to just sort of play around with that area and not think too much about how you're going to do it. It's kind of a fun exercise. Hey, Tony, what's up? Both double Tonys. Thanks for checking out the summit, Mr. Cannon. Oh, right on. From Brazil. Cool. And what's cool is that, like, Adam's going to break down that song that he recorded, Funky Thing Rides Again. That song's crazy good. Like, I've always loved it ever since he released that song. It was such a playful song and such a creative way that he put together that arrangement. And apparently, I guess he recorded this a while back. I didn't realize that it was quite as old as it is. I don't remember what year he recorded it. But man, it just sounds so fresh. It sounds so good. I love Adam's playing regardless, but like I especially love, you guys know this song? I know a lot of you watching this have heard this song. So he's going to go through key parts of that, provide notes, and go through it and talk about it. And then on day 2, I think it's going to divide like that. Carlos and Del Junco is going through a song Mojo, which is insane. It's like lightning speed. And there's a section where he goes from, like, I want to say cross harp to first position on an E harp and does just absolutely out of this world stuff that I have no clue what he's doing. So I'm excited to kind of catch that and understand what it is that Carlos, kind of voodoo he's laying down. And then Hank Shreve, who's just this extremely, if you guys haven't been following Hank Shreve, he is just so damn good. Just one of the tastiest players out there. He's got such good attack and technique and tone, but he's creative and he syncopates a lot in his playing, and he's just so awesome. So he's going to break down some cross harp in third position as well in that song that he wrote, Light Me Up. Really good tunes, you guys. And it's going to be, I think it's kind of a once in a lifetime thing in the sense that we'll probably all four of us never do an event like this again. Not like this for 2 days. I've never offered a 2-day event. So I think it's going to be cool. Hello from Canada, BC, Canada. Hello. Greetings. Gina, how you doing? Thanks for hanging out today. So let's talk about some of this thematic stuff a little longer, man. And then I actually should probably work a little bit after this. If you're clueless as to what it means, first of all, you can look up other people's discussions of this topic and really kind of just see what's out there first. But take a statement on the harmonica, learn a riff, one that feels totally natural to you, let's say, that you can just pull out and go. Let's say that's your riff. And then just slowly alter one little element of it. Let me give you an example. Let's say I had this idea to just chop the thing in two and with a little bit of a rest. That's enough of a change right there to thematically introduce something else without changing notes at first. Just a longer hold on the 4 draw. Or a texture change like warbling the 4 and 5 and bringing it down. You'd be amazed how this will change the way you approach your improvisation, these subtle changes first. And then maybe bring in an extra note, like bring in like the 5 draw for a second. There's a B flat harmonica. And so this process becomes very sort of like, at first slow and intentional, like I'm just going to do this. But after a while, if you practice the art of this thematic phrasing, you get the hang of just on the fly trying to do some of this. Maybe I can demo it. What's this? Tramp groove. We haven't even left that riff yet, you know? Now I'm gonna give it branches, you know? Now, let's carry just the rhythmic element. So then it became about the flow of the phrase that I carried on, not the note choices. It was just like, let's see what happens when I bring that. That would become, you see where I'm going with this, is like one little simple phrase. If I stated it one way from a phrasing or rhythmic perspective, I like that idea of just carrying that thematically in. So there's a bunch of ways to do it. It's not like one way. Do I play over jazz blues all the time? I mean, yeah. It depends on what you mean, I guess, by jazz blues, but usually people just mean jazzy chords thrown into a blues progression versus like bluesy jazz, which can be funky, crazy changes. I can hear changes. Once something is, you're familiar with a bunch of ways, like a bunch of structure, then when you hear something totally new and different, you can quickly ear train and figure out how to react to those chords without really knowing what they are even. That's what I'm, like this is my buddy Moses playing. These chords, listen to these chords. A lot of changes. So that's a jazzy, bluesy kind of feel right there, Eric. Yeah, 1625. That as well. And like swing and more jazzy swing. Absolutely. So this is something I'm very familiar with, playing to 1625s and 625 and thrown into like the swing setting and all that. I mean, it's really not much of an adjustment from if you've been playing 12-bar blues and all that. That's standard 5/4/1 changes on bars 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then you're set up to really play a 625 and all that. That just means we're changing like a couple chords in one little part. Typically, a 1625 is a whole different thing if that's the whole progression. And I can play that on the guitar because that just well, I won't do it now, but that's a whole different thing. And that also is very kind of bluesy, but a little bit of that jazzy element. I feel like it's just a matter of listening to these chords. You don't have to understand all the theory behind it. It doesn't hurt, but as long as you can just hear these changes, you'll find notes that work for it. And this is a great example. Hear all whoa, sorry. You hear all the changes though? By the way, if you want to get into some tracks, you guys, some backing tracks, he sells these. And they're all kind of jazzy and different 1625. I wonder if I have them on here. I don't know where they are. This is one of them, though. Fun, it definitely will help you. One great thing about playing to a track like this where you're not hearing the same old 12-bar stuff is that you're forced to find the not only new phrasing and new choices, but you're listening to the way that the notes outside of the scale notes fit. That's a huge advantage over a guy that learned to play by, let's say, learning the scales, applying the scales, and then just listening to examples. You play to a track like this, you're forced to sort of feel your way through and understand how each and every note could be applied on the diatonic. Maybe the exception of overblows and overdraws, because I'm not utilizing a bunch of that, but like you start to get a sense for the fact that the two blow, if you weren't thinking pentatonic, which is part of the pentatonic scale, the major pentatonic, the 2-blow, the 5-blow, how sweet that note choice becomes in this kind of progression. Just that alone is an eye-opening experience, you know? And 7 draw. We're always told to stay away from 3 draw, but playing around with it as more of the passing tone primarily, it sounds wonderful. And actually the 3 draw works quite well in this progression. Whatever the heck is actually going on, I'm not sure. I don't know all the chords that are going by. He calls this G passing chords jazz feel. You know? So it's constantly moving, but yet for some reason it sounds very intuitive to play to it. And I bet you a lot of you guys that, you know, even if you feel like you're still an intermediate player making your way through the ranks, you would be able to play to this. I don't think you'd feel lost. I mean, you can just hear it, but you need to experiment with it. Hey, thanks for joining in, Luca. You know? And that's what it is. It is a feeling. And then, you know, try to put on stuff like this and play some of that sweet first position stuff. Push the limits. It's fun, you know. It's not something I do all the time either. You know, I forget that Moses and I used to play all the time together, and it was really a great experience to be able to do that with him. And sort of the other side of his playing was it forced me to play the progressions that were less familiar to me as a player, as a musician, and then over time having them become very familiar, and also learning all these different melodies. Like learning some jazz tunes, like Paper Moon was one of my favorites. It's such a simple second position. I don't even know if I remember it. You know, it's a really simple melody in second position, and I think that is, as like, for me, I'm a blues lover. Like I pride myself on listening and studying like a lot of the classic and great blues stuff, but there's something so satisfying about finding a second position jazz melody, something really straight ahead that's just so catchy and fun to play. And it's all about just capturing the melody line. If you can learn these melodies, yeah, right now I can't hear the next part of the phrase, but it repeats that. There's only 2 sections to learn, and they're really straight ahead. And I know that for me as a player, it made me a way better player to start listening to some of these jazz melodies and realizing that not only could I play them, but I really enjoy playing them. I always say if I stop teaching other people and work more on my own playing at some point here down the line, it would be learning more of these and getting into melody playing. Just learning, you know, straight up. If you can take time to learn some of these melodies, they teach you so much more about how you can apply it to your improvisation world. So John's asking, if your backing track is A minor, can you hit it with the A harp? You might find some notes that'll work, yeah, but I personally would want to choose, that would put you in a major scale. There's so many other positions and modes that would put you in a minor frame of reference for that. So that's what I would be guiding you to check out, is like, I personally would be playing like third position over it, because that's what I'm familiar improvising with in the world of minor scales. But there's other scales, like, let's look at A real quick. You can go to your F harp for 5th position, or C harp, I knew that, for 4th position. That I do a little bit of. And 12th position would be kind of cool to explore on an E harp. But yeah, you might, you know, put it on and see what happens. see what that does to you. Here's his tracks. And Mo has an A minor one, a slow one like this. And pick up an A harp and just see what happens. Parts of it will work. But just because it works doesn't mean it's the best choice. It's just too bright and happy sounding, as opposed to making your way to that G harp. And it has the right feel, you know. So speaking of Mo's tracks, if you go to Bandcamp, if you just type in Moses Walker Bandcamp and find his page, you can download these tracks for cheap. There's country blues in the key of C, slow blues, Americana in the key of D, a mid-tempo G, a 1-6-2-5 in E. Here's that 1-6-2-5, and they're a load of fun to play to. It's only 4 chords, you know. It's pretty straight ahead. But check out those tracks. Oh wow, rumba and flamenco. Yeah, I should be playing more of that. I love flamenco music. I was in Sevilla in Spain listening to some killer flamenco and watching the dancers. Hank, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Hank is going to be on the summit that I was just talking about. I've said this before, but go to his channel, subscribe to Hank's channel. Hank the Real Deal, Shreve. Yeah, you guys. So it's been fun to hang out. I don't know what else to share with you. I feel like we've been hanging out a while today. Maybe give away the harmonica that I said I was going to give away. That might be a good idea. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to randomly select somebody from the list. All right. And the winner is Art Anthony. You're going to get a rocket sent to you. It may not be today, but it'll be probably right after the event ends. I can send everyone's prizes out there. So 2 people have won so far. Congratulations to Art. Yeah, well, all you got to do is sign up, Nate. So Philip was the first winner. I'm tracking these. And Art, congrats to Art Anthony, who just picked up a Hohner rocket. Now, these are definitely coming from the list of people that are signed up for the summit. And if you're like, not fair, I really want to go and I can't sign up, it's a budget issue, or you just can't go or whatever. It is recorded, though, so you can watch it later. I'll do something, a giveaway for this channel exclusive to YouTube, no strings attached. You don't need to be signed up for anything. Maybe I can give you guys, I can give away access to a few classes. I have these classes that I'm doing online have been so much fun. I want to thank everybody who's come out to those classes that follows me here on YouTube. They have been a blast and super hyper productive sessions. And I'm so glad they're all recorded because people can then purchase them after the fact. And the notes that come with them have been, working well to complement the recordings and work through some ideas. So thanks for everybody that's checking that out. I hope some of you will consider that event on April 17th and 18th with Hank, myself, Adam Gusso, and Carlos Del Junco online doing our thing. I'm stalling because I'm trying to make sure I'm not forgotten to say anything else. And I'll say one more time, huge thanks to Honer and Lone Wolf, Stage 5 Amps, Wang Dang Doodle Tees, and Blows Me Away Productions for supporting the summit and a bunch of my online classes and events. What else? Trying to think if there's anything coming up. So check out, if you guys want an in-person, here's a plug. If you want an in-person event to check out, there's one coming up with Jerry Fierro, I think Todd Parrott, Rob Paparosi, and maybe a few other players. I'm not sure who else is on it. And I believe that's in Florida. I'll put it on my community page. You guys know how to get to the community page? You just go to my channel, where my home page is on my channel, and up top, you'll see some headings, and one will say community, and I post pictures and announcements. I'm sure you've seen it in your notifications if you're getting those, but I'll put a picture of the poster for that event, and a link to where you can go. So if you're dying to get it to an in-person event, you won't find me at an in-person event anytime soon that I can think of, but you can certainly support these guys and go check that event out. It's totally worth it. If you know you're going to go to something in person, this is the first thing that's cropped up in the harmonica world that I've seen as far as these in-person opportunities. So, and I don't know when it is, but it's probably in like May or June-ish, somewhere in that time frame. Right on. Love the stall. Well, all right, thanks. What brand do I play the most? You want to know about the Rocket? Well, first of all, yeah, if you haven't played a Rocket, this is what they sound like. Here's a B flat. They're very responsive. They're very bright and loud. They seemingly are so easy to bend because they're very airtight. They got nice open side vents. A little larger on the hole size here. Open back. They're like a souped up Special 20 that's been opened up. That's kind of some of the main difference. I prefer the best. I haven't played these a lot though lately, but I really like the Marine Man Deluxe and the Crossover. And those are kind of where I live most of the time. Special 22. The truth is I'm really playing all of these harmonicas because I feel like there's a slightly different application. You get into certain feels of songs or certain keys, and I prefer like a Special 20 and an E flat, E, D. Those higher keys just sound great because it's all closed off. When you look at your Special 20, it's all closed off. Notice this one's a D. And so it's like over the years you start to develop sometimes what models fit for the keys you prefer to play, and also the song, just the feel of the song. Each one of these models has a different character. So yeah, that's what I'm playing mostly. All right, I'm going to leave you with a little music, and then I'm going to jet on out of here. What do we got? Maybe some rumba action. Somebody said rumba. Rumba. don't think they make the Blue Midnight. They discontinued that. Alright, you guys, thanks for hanging out today. Yeah, this has been a good little hang sesh. Appreciate you joining me. This is a serious rumba. It's cooking. Got a Bo Diddley. This is the Jimmy Lee series, the Every Groove a Blues Man Needs to Know. I forgot that I had these. Bo Diddley. What do you guys play over a Bo Diddley? Fun one. That's something I never ever play, man. You don't ever hear that come up too much. Every once in a while. Alright, for real. I'm going to jam out of here. I will see you guys next time. I hope you make it a great day. And I hope to see some of you April 17th and 18th. I'll put the link to that in the video description when this is done. I'll also update my community page with the in-person event. I won't be there, but there's some other fantastic players and teachers that are hosting this in-person event. So check that out. And I'll see you on another stream here down the road.